Episode 89. Martin runs up to Samantha and Kenny, yelling, "You doing this again?" and punches Kenny in the face. See, now this Kenny is just getting outrageous. First Tyrell, now he's targeting Samantha. So Martin should know after this that he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop until he's stopped. Next, Bill summons Vernon to his home, and he tells Vernon that Kenny is still harassing Martin, and he assures him he's being taken care of. And again, Bill is not indicating how he's taking care of Kenny, so it just sounds like what Martin said in a previous episode, that he's just making promises that's not being kept. Next, Kenny tells Martin he didn't do anything to Samantha, and in true Kenny fashion, he has to emphasize he didn't harm a hair on Samantha's brown skin. And he tells Martin how will his constituents view him assaulting someone. So Martin tells Samantha to head to the car. Next, Samantha asks Martin who is the guy in the park and why did he hit him. And she asks if he's the same guy that was playing chess with Tyrell in the park. Then Smitty comes home and Samantha tells him something is wrong with Martin. And Smitty tells Martin he's not going to leave without telling them what's going on. And this is the umpteenth time that Smitty has asked Martin what's going on. He's even tried to keep Martin there, but Martin keeps playing he's busy, he got somewhere to go, or he's jumping on a fake phone call. And at this point, if I was Smitty, I'm like, if you leave out the door, don't come back. Because, it has to get to a point where Smitty puts his foot down. Next, Bill tells Vernon that Kenny is getting dangerous. And Bill tells Vernon that Kenny approached Tyrell in the park and played chess with him. So Vernon says he's surprised that his racist ass even know the rules of chess. And I'm surprised too, Vernon. So Bill tells Vernon that Kenny told Martin he doesn't have the money Bill gave him. So Bill says Joey convinced him that a more permanent solution was needed for Kenny. And Vernon is shocked when he hears this. And I was surprised when I heard it because I thought, well, I should have known. Because Vernon's always been the type that says that you don't fight violence with violence. And he's always taken a non-violent approach. So, but when I saw Joey a part of the Get Along gang, and Vernon didn't say anything about why Joey was there. I just assumed that Joey was there to be the enforcer or whatever they wanted it to mean. Or I assumed that they were just turning their head and allowing Joey to do whatever he needed to do. Next, Martin tells Smitty he has to go. And Samantha tells Martin when she and Tyrell became family, he promised them they would never be alone again. So she says she never felt so alone as she does at that moment. And Smitty says he doesn't give ultimatums, but he gives Martin that look, if you walk out that door, it's not going to be the same when you return. And Martin tells him he loves him and he's sorry and he has to go. And there he go again in true Martin fashion. Next, Bill tells Vernon he carries the sins that Vernon doesn't want to. But don't judge him because he forced his participation in this mess. And Bill's right about that. Vernon did force him to help him with this situation regarding Martin. So Vernon says he trusted that there were lines that Bill wouldn't cross. And he asks Bill why didn't he call him, and Bill tells him that he did call him, and Bill says only one option remains. He doesn't see another option, and I agree with Bill. Kenny keeps coming back. You paid him off before. He came back. Now he's demanding more money, which was given to him, but that was taken. But anyway, he just keeps coming back. So something has to be done. So Vernon tells Bill to call Joey and tell him to rescind the order to take Kenny out. And Vernon doesn't realize that the plan was messed up anyway, but they better figure something out regarding Kenny and fast. Next, Martin calls Detective Malone and asks why he didn't have someone watching Samantha. And Detective Malone tells him that the department is understaffed, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why you didn't tell him that when they first met and Martin asked him to take on watching, getting some people out to watch his family. Detective Malone said that wouldn't be a problem. Now it's a problem. Now he's understaffed. It's kind of too late, too little. So Martin tells him he gave him his word and to get people to watch his family now. And I don't blame Martin. That's ridiculous. Next, Samantha tells Smitty that Kenny came up to her asking for help with his phone, and Smitty asked her why did she engage and that she should have known better. And I agree with Smitty. Like, she's too old not to know better. They tell young children, not to speak to strangers. And she's a teenager. She knows better. So Samantha says she doesn't know why she let Kenny get that close, and she tells Smitty she never seen Martin that angry before. Next, Ashley sees Haley at Orphe Jeans, and Haley is making a big scene about ordering a lot of food for baby Hamilton, fake baby Hamilton, and she's getting a lot of cravings, fake cravings, blah, blah, blah. And Ashley tells her, isn't cravings a second trimester thing? So Ashley is sneak dissing her. She's throwing out those witty comebacks. And Haley, she's just too dumb to even realize what Ashley's saying. Well, Haley tells Ashley that maybe she, Naomi, and herself can be the 3 Amigas again. And Ashley tells her that was a long time ago, before she left them in the cold and chose Bill. And you know what? I'm starting to believe that Haley had targeted Bill from the get-go. I would like to know more about that time and basically more about where Haley came from. I'm thinking that maybe Haley may have targeted Naomi just so that she could put her claws into her dad. I'm starting to think that because she's sitting up here lying about a baby. And so that tells me that she is a conniving person. And so it makes me think that she was doing a lot more planning than what people thought initially. Next, Martin goes to Bill and tells him that Kenny approached Samantha in the park, and he tells Bill he's done doing things his way. It's on him to protect his family. And it is. It is. Next, Smitty calls Jacob to the house and tells Jacob that someone is stalking his kids and that Martin continues to leave them in the dark. So Smitty says it may be too late to do something about it. Next, Ashley asks Haley, did she ever try to stop what was going on between her and Bill? And see, that's the part that I'm wondering about too. And of course she didn't. I'm really starting to believe that Haley knew exactly what she was doing and that she targeted Bill. So Ashley says it's like she planned everything that happened. because she plunged into her new life effortlessly. And I agree, Ashley. Next, Martin tells Bill that Kenny needs to die, and Bill tries to talk Martin into allowing him to handle the situation. But Martin says Kenny has forced him to show him the man he can be. I guess Martin is about to put his foot down, whatever that may be. Next, Bill tells Vernon that Kenny approached Samantha in the park and that Martin is on a rampage to handle things on his own. And Vernon tells Bill they need a better plan before it's too late. And that ends the episode.